Welcome back, guys. So no doubt you've been seeing advertisements for the best of retro gaming all over YouTube, Facebook, the social medias, all over the place, all over your face. It ain't gonna stop. You may be wondering, what the heck is this thing? And today, my friends, that's what I'm here to do, is to explain to you, to show you, to test this thing out. So this company, about a month and a half ago, they hit me up. Fairly vague email, didn't give me a link to their website or what it actually was within the email, just it's a console. I received tons of emails for offers of review. And if it's a console, I always look at it like it's either going to be a winner or a loser. But either way, I'm going to have a great time making a video. So I eventually accepted their offer of sending one out, not really knowing what it was because I'd never seen any of these advertisements until recently, right? They've been pumping it up, or maybe it's just in the algorithm and just sending it my way now. I don't know, but I know you guys have been seeing this thing. We're going to be taking a look. Now, I also have an Amazon tab opened up. And some of you guys who've been with me for a long time may realize where I'm going with this thing, right? So we're going to be doing some comparisons here. Now, as far as this console goes, I'm going to put up my little unboxing real quick. I just want to go over their website and test this thing out with you guys, give you guys my honest thoughts and opinions here, and then take a look at some stuff on the Amazons, right? So they sent me an 8BitDo controller, excellent controller. They also sent the console in a little like case or whatever, carrying case. Open it up and we have a Super Pi from Retro Flag, which it does have a Raspberry Pi 3B Plus in it. Yes, I've never reviewed one of these pre-built consoles before. My channel started doing Raspberry Pi and Retro Pi and Recall Box content for the sole purpose of showing people you do not need to pay someone for this. You could either do it yourself. I made images of my own and shared, that kind of thing. Like, you don't have to pay for this, but some people don't care. They just want to pay for something already built. So we're going to be taking a look at this thing, all right? Now, it came with the console. They sent me a 256 gigabyte micro SD card built with 50,000 games, they say on there. They have a couple different options you could choose from, and then a couple of the most crappiest controllers I've ever used in my life. These Super Nintendo controllers that they sent out are just pure junk. Super Nintendo USB controllers, so many better options out there. These things don't last. They're not great. They're very spongy. They feel nothing like an original Super Nintendo controller other than the shape. Everything about it is just garbage. They also sent a HDMI cable and the power brick for the system. So there we go. You guys seen what came to me. Now let's take a look at their website before we dive into checking this thing out, right? So on their site, you can go to Retro Console. I'm going to pull up exactly what they sent me. They didn't give me any option. They didn't tell me exactly what they were sending. They just sent it, right? So here we go. The Super Pi case, they sent me 2 controllers, and they did the 50,000 games. They're charging $289 for that, plus the controller that they sent me, let's just say $60 for that controller. That's the 8BitDo SN30 Pro. So let's go ahead and look up that. We're gonna bust out the calculator real quick. Okay, so for the 8BitDo that they sent me in addition to the kit, that is currently going for $45 on Amazon. So they're charging about $15 more. So we're gonna say $45. Now the next thing that they sent was the Retro Flag Super Pi case. What's the difference between a deluxe? I don't remember. I haven't used these things in a while. Comes with a controller. That's right. We don't want the deluxe because the controller that comes with the deluxe, way better than the controllers that they sent me. But the deluxe one's $25. I need to find one that doesn't come with anything. Here we go. $17. You can save it actually another 20%. So we're just going to put 17. That's what it's listed as right now. Now we also need to find the Raspberry Pi 3B Plus, see what that's going for. Usually Amazon charges more than what they're worth, or at least the sellers do. $43, $37 is probably the cheapest we'll find as far as the prime shipper goes. So we're going to go with $37. Trying to be as fair as possible with the price comparison. So we have that. Now we also need, I would say we need the fan, because there is a fan in this. And I don't think the base case comes with a fan. So we need a fan and we need the power supply. So let's go power supply. See what those are going for. Usually not too much. $8.99, $10. We'll go on the high end and just say $10 plus 10. Now, they did send an HDMI cable. You can get HDMI cables all over the place for very cheap. We're going to go high end, $10 for one cable. You know the cable they sent you is like $2, but that's okay. I'm going to add an additional $5 for the fan. Don't really need to search for a fan. We'll just say $5. Now, the other thing we need to find is the SanDisk 256 gigabyte micro SD card that they sent me. And that is currently going for Amazon Choice $30 on sale. We're going to say $30. So plus 30. Now, the two crappy controllers that they sent me, oh my God. They're just bad, dude. Like, any of these are probably way better. Actually, these are bad, but they're not anywhere near as bad as the controllers they sent me. But you see, these are probably on point. These ones look very similar. And they're $10. So we're just going to say $10 plus 10. So we're at $164 compared to what they had here for the console that they sent me. The 50,000 games, 2 controllers, $289 plus the $60 for the extra controller. So we're at $350. Whereas if you bought all that stuff yourself, you're at $164. So is paying over double worth the work that they did putting the image together? If they put the image together, is that worth it to you? I'll let you guys be the judge. Let's go ahead and boot this up and take a look at what it contains. Okay, so here we go, all booted up and ready to rock. So I'm just going to scroll through, let you guys see what systems are included here. I'm not going to read off how many games for each. It does say that in the corner over there. But there are going to be some instances where like a system is listed and there are no games for it. I'll point out one of them that I've noticed so far. And then another problem that I've had is we do get that white screen where the theme, the memory and whatnot, it's just conflicting and we get a white screen or the white logos where you can't see anything. It may happen, it may not happen. But the other thing too is there are duplicate games on here, mostly that I've noticed between MAME and Final Burn Alpha. Now, there'll be games on MAME that are set up to run on Final Burn Alpha, and you'll try to boot them on MAME and they don't run. Kind of speaking to that, they didn't really put a lot of time and effort designing this, or it's just an image that they grabbed from somewhere that just dumped a bunch of ROMs and games on it. So as you see, there's tons of systems here. Recall box on the Pi 3B Plus, most of this stuff will run just fine. They've made some odd choices, though, as far as bezels and screen size for some games. I noticed that in Final Burn Alpha. If I could find an instance of that, I'll show it to you. Okay, so one thing to point out on this build as well is there are no video snaps for anything. It's just all the 3-piece scraped artwork, and I'm fine with that style being used for most games. Some people prefer video because they can get an idea of what the game actually is when they're looking through the list. But okay, they got the scraped artwork. That looks fine. So continuing on, taking a look at what's included on this Soulja Boy Pi Extreme. A lot of games here. There are a lot. Most of this stuff is fine. You get to like Nintendo 64, and they got 74 games on here. I really don't like emulating Nintendo 64 because it's just hit and miss with certain things, graphics glitches, some sound issues and whatnot. Some of these games will run perfectly fine, and then some of them will have issues. So moving on, Neo Geo system 222. I don't even know what that is. Why would there be 222? Probably a lot of hacks and duplicates. World Heroes 2 Jet. Why is there 2 of them? Zupapa, 2 of them. World Heroes, 2 of them. Top Hunter, there's 3 Top Hunters. So if these are even hacks, they're not even scraped properly. to display the information. How many 2002 King of Fighters are there? There's a lot. This is sloppy in my opinion, but hey, it is what it is. Neo Geo CD, 4 games, but there's nothing in here. They're just BIOS files, so why even bother, right? NES, you probably have a bunch of hacks and whatnot. I keep seeing this as well, the ZZZ Not Game super cartridge. And then on other systems, it'll have like random names or it just won't say anything. And when I click on them, they don't open up. So I don't know what that's all about. And then it does get a little sluggish sometimes scrolling through this list. I'm surprised it hasn't, as soon as I said it, I was about to say I'm surprised it hasn't done the white screen yet. Because normally it does it like before the ends when I'm scrolling through this. But there it is. Sometimes there'll be like a seizure inducing like screen flicker of the white and it'll just like crazy. It's just a memory issue with this specific theme. Just doesn't work well. And no matter what I've done, it just continually does this randomly. And you'll get to where these icons as well will be whited out and you can't see what it is you're looking at. PlayStation 264 games. This one, the background showed up, but sometimes the background won't show up. So there's a bunch of games in there. We're pretty much toward the end here. The white background, I was going to say it cleared up, but no, it came right back as soon as I said something. Holy crap. This is, you know, it's a theme issue. Here you go. There's Virtual Boys blocked out. So if everything's white there, you wouldn't even know what system you were on. Pretty crazy, man. This happens on RetroPie as well, but with this build you can change the UI and go to themes, press start, and then go down to these settings and change the theme to Recalbox Next. You could always add different themes. Recalbox Next is going to be more similar to a stock like emulation station theme. It'll reboot and go straight to it. So here's the other theme that is installed on here, and this looks pretty clean. It's basic, works for me, but ultimately, when you look at something like this, these pre-built Raspberry Pis that are being sold, I've seen some people justify it and say, well, I build it, and then just for my time, I charge like, you know, $20 or something on top of what the components cost. Well, this company, they're a business trying to take advantage of, you know, retro nostalgia. And if you just bought these components itself, minus the 8-bit though, like you're just a little over $100. But for that build, that setup, they're charging nearly $300. It's a lot of money for what they're offering here. Something you could do yourself, something there's a lot of help out there to get you going with this. So that's one thing I want to point out here. Some people just don't have the time. They say, screw it, I'll pay for, you know, a pre-built image, a pre-built setup type thing. And, you know, it is what it is. I just wanted to showcase this. This company sent it out to me. I wanted to show you what they're charging, what is involved, what you're getting, and compare it to if you just did it yourself. You know what I mean? Make your decision. Choose what you want to do if you're into this kind of stuff. I love emulating retro games on the Raspberry Pi 3 and the Raspberry Pi 4. The 3, it's just there's so much stuff out there available for it. The 4 is building up as well. But if you just want to play these classic games, a cheap Raspberry Pi 3B Plus will definitely take care of that for the most part. This one, you know, this build, you're not seeing Dreamcast, I don't think. You're not seeing certain things that could play decently well, but they just took it out. They just overflowed it. 50,000 games is a lot of games. There's a lot of stuff on here I'd never be interested in playing. I do like this theme, man. Recalbox, I never really put too much time into Recalbox, but I've always liked it. You know, there's so many options just from the main menu here. System settings, you can see how much disk space has been used. Check for updates, game settings. There's so much stuff. I love the way Recalbox is set up. Configure controllers from here. The UI settings, sound settings. There is music that plays on this, but I turned it off due to possible, you know, weirdness. So I didn't know what music was on there, so I just turned it off. But there is background music if you leave it on. Network settings, scraper, advanced settings. You can overclock. We don't have anything overclocked right now. You could turn on the frame rate if you so choose. And that's about it. Redistributions may not be sold without authorization. I'm assuming they got authorization, right? But there you guys go. Let me know what you think. I've spoken my piece where I'm coming from with this thing. And with that said, I really do appreciate you guys. Subscribe if you haven't done so. Slap that like button like the bitch it is. And I will catch you guys next time. Peace out. Bye-bye. And boom. Bye.